What is up, YouTube? Heck Philly back with another video. Now today is going to be my first kind of a review reaction type of video of a video game or a walkthrough. What I had planned to do was to be able to do these sorts of videos after an entire walkthrough, and I have not done my Days Gone one yet, but I'm still working on it. As far as the game that we just finished, this one's more up my alley as far as it has to do with space and science. So for one, I was more eager to talk about it, and two, the ending of Observation was a bit more interesting and mysterious. And as I looked it up, I noticed that No Code wants to keep it that way. But with that said, I have my own theories of what the ending is, and I think I'm correct. It has to do, it's a space-based game. I think the answer lies in space. Obvious, right? Yeah. Keep watching. Now, in case you made it past the title of this video and past the thumbnail of this video and past the description of this video, if you made it that far, I'm gonna tell you again in the video of this video that spoiler alert. This video is not for people who do not want spoilers. This is for people who have played the game and have not found an answer to why, or just wanted to know what the explanation to the ending of Observation is. And with that being said, let's get right into the explanation. What we want to do first here when we're dealing with this story is talk about what we know. What we know about this game. What we know about this game is that we play as an operating system. Okay, Sam. I need you to give me admin access. Enable voice authentication. Dr. Hammerfish 10412. Analyze. In kind of a space station, a low orbit space station. We have one right here around, goes around Earth. You may have heard of it. It's called the International Space Station. Again, like I did for all the links and all the videos in the series, link for all the information about the real International Space Station are going to be in the description. Now, not only, so we play as a system, operating system that kind of runs and protects and secures the station. As a matter of fact, its system's name is SAM. In fact, the name SAM stands for System Administration and Maintenance, I believe. I'll look it up and edit it in. The next character we know of is Emma. Emma is kind of our ragtag person who kind of runs us, and she's second in command as it appears in the space station. She is I think biophysicist or astrobiologist or something like that. She's the main protagonist. After that we have May, I believe it was. May was a short-lived character. She came on, I think she was just used kind of for suspense, but we meet May. After that we meet Captain Jim Elias. Captain Jim Elias turns out to be a villain of sorts. Just he seems to know more about this mission than anybody on the station. He's this mysterious character, and he is kind of the crew chief, the crew captain of the crew. So as crew leader, he kind of plays this murky role. I still haven't really analyzed him or fit him into the story that much, other than he was more aware of what they were doing in that area. It's not clear if he was all the way aware it might have said in one of the log notes or in some of the dialogue that I missed, but it was clear to me that he knew more than the rest of the crew did. Then there's Josh. You meet Josh. He plays a kind of a suspense role too, kind of a love interest of Emma, and somebody who at the end of the game fills in big gaps.
We knew, Sam. He put us up here knowing something would happen. Not what, but there was a message in the fucking stars.
You know how in a story, when you're trying to figure things out, there are like these pivotal moments where you learn the mysteries from before are revealed in this big scene. Josh played kind of as that role in the game. There were other characters who were inferred, other characters who we got to hear their voices and their words, but as you can see on the screen here, they were accounted for as they existed here on the ship, but they weren't actual characters. They didn't have like bodies. We didn't see them. At the start, we presume that we're in low Earth orbit. The station that they used was based off of the International Space Station, ISS. As I said before, it's a real station. You can see it in the links in the description below. But what they called this ship that we're on, the fictional space station, was called LOSS, LOSS, Low Orbit Space Station. I should have caught on to it from there that we were in some issues. What happens is, the first time we wake up, we end up, I think it's 800 million miles from Earth out at Saturn. It took Pioneer 11 6.5 years to get to Saturn. It took Voyager 3 years and 2 months. It took Voyager 2 4 years. It took Cassini 6 years and 9 months. The point is, guys, obviously something happened before the beginning of the game that for whatever reason we could not remember. I'm thinking probably it was some sort of progressive brain adjustment along a longer trip, or maybe another vortex travel. I don't know. Maybe there'll be a prequel. Maybe there'll be who knows. The first plot twist in the opening episode just threw me for a loop. We go outside, we look outside via camera, and we see Saturn. Earth feed alert. Whoa! Wow! We are nowhere near Earth. So you're stranded out here in Saturn. Mysteriously, you don't know how you got out there. You don't know why you're there. Nothing on your ship is working really, and everyone's missing. That's how it begins. And your first missions really are to just fix the station up, and along the way you're learning the game mechanics and doing the puzzles and things like that. Now, this wasn't supposed to be like an overall description of the entire game or a tutorial or anything like that. So right now we're going to get to the point. My explanation of what the ending means. I believe it starts with the fifth character, and I'm gonna call it a character for a reason. Many people, I remember I joked about it, or when watching over my published videos, my girlfriend joked about when I was like, how can this happen? I think I was baffled by how we can go from low Earth orbit to Saturn. It didn't make any sense to me. How can we go that far? They don't remember how they got out there. We couldn't have gone that far that fast. When I was baffled by that, my girlfriend joked, aliens. I thought it was unlikely because the way that the game started, it started in so much realism, but then at some point in the game it just went way off into science fiction. But I thought while some people were a bit turned off by that, because it went from this thing that seemed to be based in reality to this reoccurring character, which I'm calling a character because I think this is an imaginative version of possibly how I imagine intelligent life. Now, the aesthetic of the hexagon and everything was cool. Whatever that technology or tech that the intelligent life was using, I thought was super cool. I do think it was intelligent being, an intelligent civilization or something like that. In a nutshell, that's my idea. Where do I get that from? The hexagon is the reoccurring theme in here. There's a mystery about the hexagon on the top of Saturn, and that mystery is one of my favorite mysteries. I kind of geeked out on camera and in explaining it. I don't know. I thought I botched it, but you could be the judge for yourself. Look at the hex. Oh snap! Look at the. Oh snap! Hold on for a second. I know I'm supposed to be doing work right now, but hold on. Look at that right there. That is freaking awesome. This is actually one of my favorite mysteries in space. Now, I hope they don't yell at me because I'm supposed to be doing stuff right now. But if you look at if we look at where we're oriented here, you can see the sun is that way. So the sun's facing that way. And I hope my hand is going the right way because I'm looking at a thing over here, but the sun is facing this way. That's the daytime side, and we are looking down on Saturn from the north. Now this pattern doesn't appear on the bottom of Saturn, and why this hexagon exists remains somewhat a mystery. But this shape has been developed in the lab, and basically this big gassy ball is fluidly, as you can see, moving, and it's moving faster at the top than it is in its body, lower down in its body. And so what happens is at the top there's a bunch of hurricanes in there bumping into the slower edges of that hexagon because that's slower gas going around there. And just like if you were standing in a circle, these hurricanes flick off of that slower air and stay contained in the fast air, and that's what forms the straight edge. I'll probably just put up an animation to show you. I'm sure there's one somewhere on the internet. I'll probably set up an animation because I just did a terrible job explaining it. What scientists believe is that whatever's happening underneath of that storm, the clouds under there are responsible for what's happening on the surface clouds. I believe the creators of this game used the mystery and mystique of this space phenomenon in their storytelling. They went to Saturn because they needed the vortex from Saturn to plunge them into an alternate reality. So they used that vortex at Saturn to plunge into an alternate parallel universe. And then once they got to that parallel universe, they ended up on this like Earth-like planet where others didn't make the land. Now, if you recall, when we were trying to set the jets on our ship for for the orbit to head straight into the middle of the hexagon. Burn time is 20. Alright. Burn time is 20. Engage burn.
We can make it, Sam. The alignment is off. The station is under too much stress. We'll lose stability and explode on entry.
Dr. Emma Fisher decided, no, it's not going to make it. We need to jettison this portion of the ship off. And we'll make it to the spot that we need to make it. So she had to tweak that, even though we set the ship the particular way. She made an extra tweak to get us down there. And then when we got down there, we saw that there were many other Emmas and other Sams that didn't make it. They died. So I think that's a key portion in the story too. She made it down because she ultimately made a crucial decision to tweak the landing. So they landed, they woke up in this alternate reality safely, and then they reach this hexagon once again. The thing that's interesting here is the shapes and certain things. Now this is completely a part of my theory, but using the hexagon shape, the technology that whatever this alien civilization used was sent to be symbols. Now we as humans, oh man, what year was it? 1979, I believe, that we sent out the Voyagers. We put symbols that indicate where we are located in the universe. Now the hexagon tech was shaped as a hexagon, the same as the spot they needed to get to. The idea is you drop into that vortex, and then once you're there, you meet up with the big hexagon, the big whatever vortex that was. You put in the code, you guys go through another vortex in that universe, in which when we pan out, we can see there's a lot of different vortexes, where my theory is people from different universes meet at this particular place where Saturn's vortex brought you, and they all went into the last universe, wherever that vortex takes you, to the last universe, where apparently they have a further mission to bring them. Now the whole game was saying bring her. So apparently in Earth's universe, in our universe, and super Virgo supercluster Milky Way Earth, we were supposed to bring Emma, Dr. Emma Fisher.
I'm really here with you, aren't I?
How do you feel, Sam? Different.
New. I've never felt that before, have I?
Is there more to come from this game? I think so. I would be very I'm very confident that this developer is gonna put out more information. But anyway, guys, that's my theory. I talked too much about this, so thank you for listening to my version of what observation was about. I'm pretty certain that this is what it is, but I can't wait for the rest of it to come so that we can figure it out. Anyway, so thank you for stopping by my channel. I want you to have a great day. You're always welcome to my version of the universe, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, peace.